If you're like most women I work with, you are most likely terrified that if you slow down, your business is going to just completely fall apart. And instead of checking in with the business, you just keep adding more to your plate and you take on another project. You say yes to another demand and you constantly push yourself to do more, even though deep down, you know that you are absolutely running on empty. If that's happening, it often leaves you completely trapped in this vicious cycle where you're terrified of burning out, but you're even more terrified of what is going to happen if you stop. And because of this, you probably tell yourself, oh, I just have to be really strong because I have a strong worth ethic. But if we're being completely honest, it's not just a work ethic. It's a real paralyzing fear of doing too much mixed with the absolute exhaustion of already being there. And your body is just stuck on this high alert because you're going back and forth of I'm doing too much, but I'm there and I don't know what to do. And then your body just feels overwhelmed. And if this hits a little too close to home, like it did to me a few years ago, you are in the right place because we are officially in week 5 of our 10-week series. And today we are diving into the exact fear of overdoing it and burning out because it is the number one thing that holds us back from building this successful, sustainable business that we really want. And after working with so many high achieving professional women, I have noticed this massive pattern that keeps coming up. We tend to mistake being busy for being safe. The sense of safety really comes from adding on more tasks because we're able to cross off all of these things that we did. And the more that we take on, the safer we feel because we're like, we're doing something, right? We're moving forward, we're taking action. But the moment that you actually try to sit on the couch or take a weekend off, your brain it just starts to scream at you to go back to work. And I hate to break it to you, but that isn't drive and it isn't ambition. That's actually your nervous system just trapped in this survival mode because it's telling you to push through that burnout and to not feel discomfort. So you have to keep going. But don't worry. We're gonna fix this. We're gonna look at this today because we're going to break that toxic link between your personal worth and your daily output so that your drive comes from actual passion, not just panic or survival. So, how do we move away from that constant, frantic sense of urgency and actually get some breathing room? Because I don't know about you, but I love some breathing room. I love to take a break. And in order to do this, what we're going to be practicing is creating this purposeful pause. Start saying that a couple times. Purposeful pause. Now, this is not a vacation, and it's definitely not a waste of time because we're being purposeful with what we are doing. It is literally a 5-minute reset that allows your nervous system to function at its best. And I'm going to tell you, your nervous system really desperately needs this relaxation, especially if your schedule is packed, because there is a difference between being busy and being overloaded. And when I break this down, I want you just to think about your drill for today, okay? I want you to set a timer for 5 minutes and just close your laptop. This is going to be the purposeful pause. You are purposefully shutting down, closing your laptop, put your phone away, put it in a completely different room, and just sit down or lay down. Just get comfortable and do absolutely nothing. Now, for a lot of people, that actually might bring panic up for them because they're like, oh, do nothing, but that's not helping me move forward, Rachel. But that is actually going to help you move forward. I know it's hard to believe that, and your brain is going to panic because that mental list of all those hundreds of things that you have to do, your brain says, I need to do them right now. But we are going to purposely do an exercise that goes against that. and is there to help you actually gain more time in your day. So if this is coming up for you, if you are feeling that initial panic of, oh no, I'm not going to do anything, I want you just to lean into that feeling with some long, slow exhales that we've practiced back in week 1. And I want you just to, again, go back to that internal security guard that we've already talked about and let that guard know, like, hey, we are on the same goal. We both want to be successful. And in order to do that, we also have to have our nervous system online. And so those 5 minutes that we're purposely taking is going to help us be more effective in the work that we're going to be doing. Now, when those 5 minutes are up and you sit back down at your desk, you are going to realize that about 90% of that urgent pressure that you were feeling was just mental noise clouding your judgment. And again, this is going to help you work faster because if our brain isn't in that fight or flight, if our brain isn't in urgency, it allows us to actually take the time and energy that we need to put into what we are working on. We're not doing it out of panic. We are doing it now out of this place of peace or this place of groundedness, which allows us to be way more successful in the long run. And here's the real magic. The real magic happens when you master that pause, when you stop constantly reacting to your inbox and you actually start leading your business. Because let's face it, a well-rested CEO makes 1,000,000 times better decisions than this frantic, exhausted one. And so here is your challenge for today. I want you to schedule 3 5-minute purposeful pauses in your schedule. No scrolling, no sneaking mental planning, just open space where you allow yourself 5 minutes of just pausing. And once you finally clear out that heavy burnout fog as you continue practicing these 5-minute pauses, you are going to find a brand new challenge that usually pops up, which is showing up. Specifically, how to show up on camera without your hands shaking and your voice cracking. And this is exactly what we're going to be tackling next in week 6. So if you are ready to build a business that doesn't drain the life out of you, I want you to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss the rest of this series. And if you need a little extra support putting this into practice, head down to the description below and I've put together some incredible free resources on my website to help you reset your nervous system and take back your time so that you can be successful not only in your business, but also in life. Now go check those out. Take your pauses today, and I will see you next week.